Hello, good morning, and I make you welcome to another great episode of Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television from our corporate headquarters in Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Henry Igwebike. Very glad to have everyone join us today, wherever it is you are doing that from around the world. We say welcome to Enterprise Weekend today on Enterprise Television. Let's get talking on some of the things that we have for today. We will start with our newspapers, and right after that will be our conversation also for today. Do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can reach us when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Very so honored to have joining me right here in our studios is Obong Thompson. He is a journalist, a public affairs analyst, and a development communicator. Good morning to you, Mr. Obong Thompson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Henry.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so very much for your time. And equally joining us virtually is His Greatness Agadago Esquire, a barrister, a law public affairs analyst, and he joins us from Warri in Delta State, Nigeria. Good morning to you, barrister, and welcome. How is Warri today?
Always a pleasure. Good morning, but right now I'm in Asaba, but later today, I'll by God's grace, I'll be in Warri later today.
Oh, okay. But where are you now? You are in Asaba?
I'm in Asaba, yes.
Okay, beautiful.
I had some this week, so I've been in Asaba, but I'll travel to Warri later in the day.
All right. Thank you so very much for the time. So let's kickstart today with the first daily on our desk is coming from the Vanguard newspaper. Big story: Iran behind terrorism in Nigeria. Israeli ambassador. If you get to watch the interview, you'll see the debate there and how that the Israeli ambassador has said that the Israeli government would not watch and see Iran sponsoring a terrorist in Nigeria, which to some extent the Nigerian government had refuted and not doing anything about it. On the top strip, we have Rivers Amechi house attacked, ADC office set ablaze. Below that story, we have why Nigeria is in a mess. And that's coming from Professor Utomi. And we have a very hilarious one, something very comical here. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu said that in her 40 years of marriage to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they have never raised a voice at each other. And that is the reason they live in peace and harmony. 40 years, they've never raised voice on each other. Okay, let's see. Maybe we should write a book about that, and married people should learn one or two from them, if that is actually factual. But let's take a look at this matter. I'd love to start with you, Obong Thompson. Rivers Amechi house attacked, ADC office set ablaze. What kind of politics are we really playing in Nigeria?
You see, the political atmosphere is beginning to heat up because of we just have a few months to go in another round of elections to elect political office holders in Nigeria. But the current attack on the residence of His Excellency, former governor of Rivers State, I think is condemnable. And then you also find out that the ADC Secretariat was also attacked. These are not mere warnings or mere attacks. They are categorical statements being made by hoodlums or whosoever might have
sponsored hoodlums.
Sponsored hoodlums or whosoever might have been responsible for such an attack. And I think at this point that we are in Nigeria, we should not be seeing this level of destruction again in Nigeria.
Very well said.
It should be a total departure. We should be experiencing a lot more, engagement and policy-driven political activities in Nigeria.
Very well said. Politics-driven activities in Nigeria. A barrister, speak to me on this one. Do you think this is coming from the APC? If it is from the APC, do you see any hands of Fubara at this point? Because Fubara is a jolly good fellow who does not want any trouble. How then is it that this is happening while he is the governor of Rivers State? Barrister, are you there? Hello, Barrister, can you hear me? All right, so I think we have a bit of a communication issue there. So while we get Barrister to relate to us, Obon Thompson, with what I asked Barrister, do you see hands of Fubara, or don't you see his hands in this? Because, like I said, Fubara is a jolly good fellow who does not want any troubles.
Yeah, you can say that all over and all over again. By the antecedent of Fubara, Nigerians have been able to, you can classify him where he belongs, to be a gentleman, and all what is after is developmental, progress of River State. It's not even to, at some point you understand that he's not even a good politician.
Yeah, it's not.
So he's after administration, and one will not, be quick, or one cannot in any way attribute such a menace to Fubara. So, but I think there are other, triggers, within the context that might have warrant such an attack, and it's not very much far away from the issue of the former governor himself not being too close to the constituents, the grassroots, because if they are truly a grassroots politician, you put your footprint, you should have your foot soldiers that protect your properties and your interests all over. So by now we are supposed to have fallout from such an attack, probably by investigation from the police agency or other agencies that are related to protecting lives and properties of Nigerians. But up to now, we've not heard anything. We are still depending on the other day it was even the Amechi that went there for inspection.
Yes.
Of the site to ascertain the damage.
Yes.
So Fubara cannot be, in any way, kind of, what would I call it?
Cannot be removed from the situation.
No, he is the, actually he is
he's the chief security officer of the state, yes.
Of the state, but he will not be liable to sponsoring, such an attack on the property of a
former governor, yes.
Secretariat of the opposition, the political party. So it's, I think the governor, in some extent, has to be exonerated from such activities, because we've known him to be a peace-loving, easygoing Nigerian. So whatsoever has happened, there are also other narratives, because this thing can be preemptive.
Yes.
Even from the ADC itself.
Really?
Because in Nigeria,
why are you speaking like Okwebolo at this point? Remember the attack on Peter Obi? Yeah. When Okwebolo was asked, he said it's possible it's the ADC that carried out it.
So in Nigeria, when you want to cross a road that is one way,
yes,
you must make sure you look both sides.
Yes.
Don't just cross because you feel cars
are coming from one direction.
So if anything happens in Nigeria, you have to think widely from all angles. There are possibilities that this might also be a calculated attempt, in order to discredit the leadership of the state government. Very
well said. I sincerely, feel that we should not go this route. As a student of history, the reason why we had the 1966 coup was because of the Western region political conflict that happened at the time between Obafemi Awolowo and Akintola. And that led to the 1966 coup, because things were no longer working at the time. I truly do believe that we would not get to that messy situation where we have political toggery, improvised sponsorship against the opposition because they don't like them, and so on and so forth. I truly do hope we don't get to that level. Barrister, are you here with us now?
I'm here.
Hello, can you hear us, Barrister?
I hear you. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry we had to, we weren't hearing you that much. But I'd love to ask you, on this Rivers ADC crisis, it's becoming a norm now for us to practice a politics of provocation. politics where you do not want to see the opposition eye to eye. Do you think this might lead us to possibly destroying this democracy that we have with the Fourth Republic?
Yes, now we can destroy it. You know, Nigerians, we are poor students of history, not because we do not sufficiently remember what has transpired in the past, but many a times, few of us have refused to learn the right lessons so that we will take cautionary measures so that there will not be a repeat of the past. And funny enough, those who even carry out actions that are detrimental to our progressive and sustained democratic culture, practice, and administration are those who claim to be Democrats. And our very democratic president, he sits still without ordering any immediate, urgent, and comprehensive action. And that's very unfortunate. And that's why we believe that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has completely failed in the issue of security of lives and property. I'm sure this Rivers State violence, even though I will not name those I suspect are behind it.
Please, Barrister, help us. You can help us name them, because that is our duty and responsibility. If we keep shielding things like they don't exist, it makes it worse. Let's call them names, even if they are pseudo names. Let's make this thing known so we can have a stop to all of this. So we would love if you can, please.
First of all, you remember during the 2023 election, the former governor, I think Celestine Omehia, and some others, they were Atiku's coordinator for Rivers State. And they prepared a site, you know, Wike as governor that and refused them, the stadium and other government properties for them to carry out, for PDP to carry out his campaign in support of Atiku Abubakar. So they now got a private site where they cleared and they were supposed to use as a PDP's rally in Rivers State. Reports says that some policemen at night, some policemen went and even shot at them. They intended to even kill those coordinators. They shot directly at them until they left. That's one. Secondly, too, in 2024, I cannot really remember now whether it was October. I think it was October 2024. Fubara conducted a local government election and swore in the 23 states local government chairman on Sunday. And when they went to resume their official duties on Monday, so a mad mob came after them. I think Fubara's former chief of staff brother was killed in that encounter, in that episode. I think a local government councillor's father was shot at, who went to grace his son swearing in as a councillor. And they burnt local government headquarters. We were burnt. And then our president did not order that the culprits should be rounded up and brought to book. What he said is that let there be calm, let there be peace. That's what he said. People have committed crime, people have committed murder, committed arson. They even burnt part of the local government, many of the local government secretariat, they burnt part of them. But the president did not demand and command security agencies to go after these culprits, arrest them and prosecute them according to law. Because justice is blind. He didn't say that. If you can recall his address, he only said, all sides, calm down, calm. But you can't be talking about calm down when crimes have been committed. What you are supposed to do, and that one is a serious test measure of his ability to deal with insecurity and criminality without fear or favor.
Yes,
without
and
fear
Barrister, just to interject there, do you believe in this geology and in politics that the end justifies the means? And that's what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to be agreeing with. Do you believe in that as an active politician yourself?
I do not believe in that, because it is what a man soweth.
Can you hear me, Barrister?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. So I do not believe in that, because I'm sure that's why our youth of today, they have almost ruined their destiny by getting involved in Yahoo Plus and the rest, ritual killing, because they feel that they can do anything. The most important thing is to get money. Now you do anything and get some money, you can't even enjoy it fully. You can't sleep at night. You are restless. You lose your intelligence. You lose your mindset. You lose your youthful agility, and you die untimely. So how has the end justified the means? So it is what a man soweth, that is what he reapeth. In Nigeria, two of the things that are holding us back and bound is, number one, our reward system for diligence, innovation, intelligence, and good work is very, very extremely poor. Secondly, our stick approach, repercussion, deterrent for people who have failed, who are failing, who have done evil is also non-existent. And that's why some people believe that they can actually do any crime, criminality, and they will go away scot-free. Nothing will happen. Nothing is happening, and nothing will happen. And so far, they have succeeded thus far. So going back to where I was coming from, so you see the antecedent from 2023 general election campaign, violence, so that the PDP cannot campaign there. Then when Fubara succeeded in swearing in his own local government chairman, despite all the IG did, the then IG, to frustrate that exercise, including sending police to the election managers complex to seal it and to create issues. Despite all that, at the end of this, Fubara spoke very, very harshly and offensively against the NIG. Yet, after the local government was conducted on Saturday, they were sworn in Government House on Sunday, they resumed work on Monday, and there was a visitation by named and known elements who invaded the secretariat, shot at people, committed murder, set place on fire, and up till today, 2.5 years later, nobody has been arrested, nobody has been detained, nobody has been prosecuted for not only disturbing the peace, but murder, destruction of public property, and arson. Nobody.
All right. Okay, so yes.
So the point I'm making is that, this is the point I'm making. Many of these our so-called politicians who claim that they have structure, they know that this structure is built on clay feet. They know it's built on clay feet. They know that if it is seriously tested through a free and fair election, they will not go anywhere. So what we see now is that the tactics they have resorted to in Edo State and Rivers State, and even in Lagos, what we saw in Lagos not too far away, is to intimidate the opposition. So that the opposition can either shift backwards or, out of fear, retreat, so that they can now take over maybe the electioneering process 2027. It shows lack of confidence. Those who did this act, those who went to burn ADC office, they are truly cowards.
Very well,
cowards, and I condemn them. It's condemnable, and I condemn them. And it shows that they do not have structure, they do not have popular support, and they do not have the mandate of the people to lead them in any manner whatsoever.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Barrister. Now, let's take a look at the Saturday Punch newspaper. We do not have so much time. And straight to the talking point. Petrol price hit 1,050 naira as federal government sets up committee to fix power grid. We learned that there's another power grid collapse in Nigeria. Before now, it used to be up NEPA and down NEPA. When local power stations, switch off their electricity, but now the national grid is what goes off, unfortunately. Obon Thompson, during the days of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I love to believe there was a time in Nigeria, in the world, where we had this collapse of the economy, starting from the United States. Jonathan was able to shield the country. He was able to protect the country with Okonjo-Iweala and some other people, such that we didn't get that effect that much. Now with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just because of the war that we do not have a business in, everything is looking like we are those fighting the war, because the pump price of fuel is above 1,000 naira. There are no cooking gas right now anywhere. And it's quite bad. So do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu truly does understand what leading a country, a great country like Nigeria is?
Yeah, just like the United States you just mentioned, they take proactive measures about, or intentional approach about the situations, or they have foresight and they think through, governance for maybe in the next 30 years, 50 years, 100 years to come, and what would likely come up. So that is the same situation I had expected the think tankers for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have sat back when they begin to hear about the rumors of likely war in Iran involving the U.S. and the Israelis. The government team would have sat back and look at the economic, and re-strategizing, to see how they can prevent some occurrences from, affecting the lives and the economic situation in Nigeria. So one would have expected them to put up that machinery on time and make sure that they come out with situations, strategies that will cushion the effect of the fallout of the fight against the Iranian country.
Yes.
And then see how they can also, look inward, because we understand Dangote is playing a major part in the petroleum industry in Nigeria. And a lot of incentive has also been given to Dangote.
But why is it not reflecting on Nigeria?
We are supposed to have that benefit in situations
like this. Yes.
Because Dangote refinery and the investment in which Nigeria makes in that refinery is supposed to act as a buffer.
Yes.
In situations like this, Dangote should, as a matter of fact, see how to buffer the situation, because he asked for the crude to be sold to him in naira.
Yes.
And I think
it was done. It was done. Yeah.
So why are we now so much particular about the international currency? Because the rise or the demand in the dollar has been able to, is what is bringing about this increase in prices. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
The Iran.
So does it mean that we have more of importation? Yes.
Iran has shut down production.
Yes.
And they represent like 20% of the world, crude imports.
Yes.
From various countries. So they have also shut down the Strait of
Hormuz. Yes.
That also hinders some shipment of products, from that region to other parts of the world. So these are the problems that we are facing, the challenges that is being faced now. Then now the crude would likely be sold by the US. That entails a demand for dollar, because the US is also fighting this war to make sure that the dollar become dominant. So we have to look at the world in so many dimensions, because the BRICS was also another part that was to challenge the dollarization of the financial sector in the world. But the US now I know will be selling most of the oil.
Yeah, because they have so
and
much
the
reserve.
demand for dollar will be higher. And then that would also influence the international, it will affect the international oil prices, which has affected Nigeria as we speak today. So let's the president work hand in hand with the Dangote refinery and see how to, reduce the prices of petroleum products.
Very well said. Barrister, let's get to you on this just before we wind down for this particular segment. We just learned that there's a national grid collapse, like I had earlier said. And Barrister, when you take a look at the footages from Bahrain, from Qatar, from Dubai, from lots of other places, you see bombardments, but there's still availability of electricity, which means that their national grid is stronger and better than what we have in Nigeria. How do you think we can get it better? What do you think Goodluck Ebele Jonathan did during the economic crunch of the world that insulated Nigeria from all of the chaos that happened at the time?
On the issue of electricity, regular electricity supply, what Goodluck Jonathan did was simply to go back to Obasanjo power roadmap, which was therefore largely abandoned by Yar'Adua, because Yar'Adua, like I said earlier, reversed a lot of Obasanjo's policies, and it is because of Obasanjo's policies that's why Obasanjo supported Yar'Adua, because he believed that Yar'Adua will support those politics so that they will grow to fruition.
Are you still there, Barrister? Barrister, are you still there? Oh, wow, we're having a bit of a network glitch there. I truly do hope that, because it's very important that Barrister is making the statements, doing a juxtaposition there of what Goodluck Ebele Jonathan did as against what President Olusegun Obasanjo did. And this goes to show this godfatherism thing. It seems not to be working in Nigeria at any point. Goodluck, Obasanjo had made everything possible for Yar'Adua to succeed him, thinking that Yar'Adua will continue.
Yeah, you also understand it was the same Yar'Adua that came out to also, comment that the election
that brought him was
not credible.
Yes.
You understand? So he knows what they wanted, which was a departure from what former President Obasanjo wanted. So I think Goodluck Jonathan, having assembled himself with experts and very good advisors, was able to also go back to the drawing board and see where to salvage the situation, and which he did. And you see, he was able to cushion the effect of the recession.
Absolutely, yes.
So we still understand the fact that Nigeria has put off the structure in place, which is Dangote's refinery. So let's not play politics in any way. We have a true and patriotic Nigerians in the person of Dangote. Let him realize that this is the time Nigerians need him most. Let it be clear that let it be also be in the public that he demanded for crude to be sold to him in Naira, which Nigerian government represent the people.
Yes, and they did.
And they did. So now that there's war in Iran and has caused, until the petroleum prices hike, let Dangote be able. He has
the capacity.
He even produce above capacity to the extent that the product was sold overseas.
Yes.
So let him look inward, sit down with the government, and then see how this can be resolved.
Very well said.
For the good of Nigeria.
Very well said. And Ghanaians are actually praising Dangote at this point. Those from Ivory Coast, Benin, they're all depending on Dangote at this point. And so if all these sister countries can depend on Dangote, which is not their countryman, how much more Nigerians who have him We still buy fuel at 1,050 naira, and which would go higher than that if care is not taken. But of course, we will be right back to talk more on issues regarding Nigeria and how we can solve that when we return. Classrooms of neglect in all reach Akwa Ibom State. In a bit, Enterprise Weekend it is. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, Enterprise Weekend it is, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Just before we get into our discussions for today, we have a viral video going around, and it's everything happening in Akwa Ibom State, the lopsided leadership, so many people would say. But let's just take a look at that viral video, and when we come back, let's do some talking.
We are here in primary school Ikot Mbonde, Old School Road, here in Uyo. Look at what the children are passing through. This is the chalkboard. The children in school. Look at them here. And our governor is busy telling us that he wants to go and build housing in Abuja Estate. But here in the state we have less privilege, that he would have looked into it and see how to help these people out. Look at the children here in school. Look at them. Look at what is happening. This is Akwa Ibom State. The state. Anybody that is going to send this video should send it to mine or directly. Let him come down here and help these children. These are our future generations being suffering. They are all suffering because of teachers. Teachers, look at a teacher here. Look at teacher here. No table, nothing. Look at the ceiling. Look at the whole place, how it is. It's a shame. A shame to a state. Look at, it's a disgrace to us. I pray that God will help these children, that they will become something in future, and their future will not be dented by our so-called politicians.
Wow, that is that's quite sad. In 2026, we still have evidence like this circulating around the world, and the question is, how would the world look at us? Right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the video on social media exposing the harsh learning conditions in the public primary school in Ibiaku Itam, local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The footage shows a dilapidated classroom at the primary school in Ibiaku Itam in Ikot Mbonde Community, where people struggle to learn an environment lacking even the most basic facility inside the classroom. Only 4 functional dual desks were visible, each shared by 4 pupils, despite being designed for 2. Several children sat directly on the bare floor, hunched over their exercise books, while others lay flat on their stomach to write. Quite sad. Some balanced somewhere themselves on broken planks. The teachers without a table sat on a small stool. Cracked floors, damaged windows, and a sagging roof completed the picture of a gross neglect. Shockingly, this school is located within the capital city. Let me take that again. The school under reference is located within the capital city and the seat of the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Omoeno. According to official records, the state has over 1,164 public primary schools. while the administration of Governor Moeno is constructing 31 model schools, more than 1,100 others remain largely neglected. Budget documents show repeated allocations for classroom furniture since 2023, yet performance report indicates little or no spending. The image you see right now is the image of Pastor Omoino distributing cars to former deputy governors of the state who might not necessarily need these cars. But the question is, giving cars to deputy governors and repairing schools, which is the most important? And these are more we shall be talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me Obong Thompson, and I hope that Barrister will join us. Thank you so very much for joining us, Obong Thompson. Barrister, are you there with us? I hope he has joined us. Okay, so while we wait for Barrister to join us, Obong Thompson, this is quite sad. You know, it's usually said that people who do not like the government, you know, bring out or bring up or concoct, you know, propaganda against them. But this is the video, it's evidence, it's there for everyone to see. Those classrooms had no chairs. The bare floor is messed up. No, tell me, what's happening?
Yeah, Mr. Henry, you see, first of all, I would like to say that, you know, that video, to the best of my knowledge, I have taken a forensic look of that video.
Yes.
Want to showcase concoction attempts by whosoever posted that video.
What do you mean it's showing? Because that video is real. It's not AI.
Number one.
Yes.
There are so many things on that video
yes.
that I need to let you understand.
Okay.
Number one, you have students, pupils, seated with different school uniforms.
Okay.
Then number two, you have some desk not occupied, but you have a teacher seated and claiming she doesn't have what to write on. You know. Then number three, in a school, you know, where you have teachers, you allow students to lay on the bed floor. You know, some writing on the wall.
Yes.
You know, at the same time, class is going on. So, adding all these features of that video together, you will see that this truly do not represent.
It's managed.
It's stage managed
because if it's you say state managed, if it's state managed, if there were enough desks in that class, it won't be state managed. Yes. Yes.
Investigation by the state government has to be carried out to ascertain if truly those teachers they truly exist, or if those students are just pulled out from somewhere to, you know, manage the whole scenario. Because how will I be a tutor and I see my pupils on the floor? Number one thing, the teacher has to be indicted. Indicted for what? For allowing the student to lay on the floor while the class is ongoing.
So where do you think the people should sit? Is it sit on the air when there are no seats provided? It's not the prerogative of the teacher to provide chairs. Yes.
This is a classroom and it's not a restroom for students to rest. So they are supposed to be having lectures seated. But let me shock you again that the time that we have now is going to be heated up and it has started. You know, the political opponents can, in one way or the other, you know, amplify this situation. Because just like you rightly said, we have about 1,164 you know, primary school schools in the states, and the government is building 31, you know, model schools also. And
in how many years? In 3 years.
You know, also you know, underscore the fact that previous governments has already worked on all these schools, and at interval, it's expected that 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5 or more will be, you know, some infrastructures or some material will be damaged. You know, and the government need to, you know, put all these things all over again in the budget to be able to furnish these schools.
So why hasn't the government gone ahead to do it and allowed this to happen?
This is just one in a case, you know, that, you know, if this video would have been very much, understood
Yes.
if the poster of this video has been able to also show other schools.
No.
Or carry out. I'm coming.
Okay.
Also carry out. This is just one school.
Okay.
Then I would have expected him to go around the whole state.
Okay.
And say, okay, out of 1,164, about 500.
No, not 530. It's out of 1,001. Yes.
I mean, 60 are in deplorable
Okay.
conditions, or 100 are in deplorable conditions.
Okay.
This is what would have made a balanced, reportage, and would have created a more serious, case against the governor. But if you are talking about 164 schools and you have just one classroom in dilapidated state,
Yes.
which can happen in every other state, not inclusive of Akwa Ibom State.
But it is not normal. It shouldn't be in 2026. And I love to believe none of those kids, none of those kids.
Understand
Yes.
that there is government development is progressive. You cannot fix all the classrooms. The government has other projects.
Like buying cars for
It's
its,
also embarking.
like buying
That
cars
is
for the
what-
executive. Is that the other project?
Those are just side side I will call it side talk, because they are real projects being embarked on by this government, which are very visible for everybody to see.
Yes.
And these schools of the thing is just one or two, in 1,164 schools, primary schools that they have, So the person would have go around the school, take an inventory of all the schools that are in the dilapidated, form, and then now give us the data that, okay, out of 1,164, we have 500, 300, 100 in this state. That's when we take, that there's serious emergency, but I'm not saying that this is not an emergency situation.
Okay.
I'm not trying to absolve the government from not, taking action to make sure that that classroom are being fixed. No. What I'm saying is that this video does not add up.
Does not add up because we know that video is not AI generated. It is real. The people there are real. Everything there is real. But let's go forensic for a bit. Akwa Ibom State had enjoyed the most fruitful time ever. The generation of finance in the state, the budget, according to what we have, Akwa Ibom State had accrued over 1.3 trillion naira for 2025, I'd love to believe, 2025 a budget. And the local government under reference there, between January and November, got 4.6 billion naira. So the question is, where do all of this money go to if we can give excuses that a primary school meant for citizens, meant for indigents of Akwa Ibom State is still in this state, while the governor is all around town building houses in Lagos and Abuja that might not be of benefit to these little kids?
The insinuation that the governor is building houses in Lagos and Abuja, I think, is not the proper narrative that should be, promoted at this point in time. The governor knows what is good for the state. And
so building schools, ensuring those primary schools are well taken care. It's not good for the state.
Government priority
Yes.
is on provision of healthcare, education, and that's why you have the Arise agenda.
Okay.
The governor has a blueprint that he's working on. That's what I'm saying. If that school has not been touched yet, it doesn't mean the governor was the one that created this situation.
But he is given the opportunity. That's the reason why he was given the opportunity to serve, to repair issues like this.
Other schools
Yes.
that are being budgeted to uplift the facilities, and they come first in phases. Probably this has not met.
So this comes last.
This has not met the phases yet.
Oh.
And once it comes to that phase, it will be sorted out. So, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is that the government cannot fix all the primary school in one day.
With over 1.3 trillion naira that has been that has been given to Akwa Ibom State.
Others are being fixed.
Yes.
And this is not fixed.
Yeah.
Somebody goes to this one out of many that are being fixed and decide to pick loopholes in this and amplify it to the public, and then start discrediting the governor that this building, houses here and there. The fact is that there are a lot of other projects that the governor is also embarking on. The elderly homes that will be commissioned very soon. The rice farm resorts that will create over 2,000 employment and also generate annually about 25 billion naira to the state cover. There's also the blue economic sector that the governor is building jetty at the Oron, giving out incentive for fishermen and so on to be able to operate in that marine economy. There are a lot of roads that have been constructed as we speak that is also touching lives, which has not been mentioned in all this media campaign that is aimed at antagonizing the governor. We have a lot of other projects. As we speak, elderly within some ages are receiving the social welfare of 50,000 naira stipends every month. The compassionate home are being constructed, about 200 plus has been constructed to meet the vulnerables, in villages and wherever they reside, free of charge, are being given to them. So medical cities have been built. Primary health care centers are also being built the same way we have the model schools that are being built. So there's more bigger picture that the governor has about the education sector, which he has been implementing at the state level. So for one to just pick up one case and then try to use that to antagonize the governor and the government of the day, I think it's not the right thing to do at this point in time.
All right. I understand the barrister has joined us. Barrister, thank you so very much for being back. We truly do appreciate you. Hello, barrister.
Yes,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very so well. Yes, I can hear you, barrister.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So let's.
Okay.
We're actually doing a lens forensic look on Akwa Ibom State. Did you see the viral video of a primary school that looks like we were still in 1945 while we're in 2026 under Pastor Omoyeno, the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State? I'd love you to speak to me. You are someone who you don't hold back on criticizing constructively leaders when they do not do the right thing. What do you think of Governor Omoyeno, the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, oil-rich city? At the same time, we have primary schools that do not look like primary schools at all. What's your take on this, please?
First of all, if we go back memory lane a bit, you remember that in Akwa Ibom and Calabar used to be the national suppliers of housemaids in Nigeria. Once you say house girl, it is normal to assume that she's either from Calabar or she's from Akwa Ibom. Calabar girl. But when Governor Victor Atta took over the reins of office in 1999, he declared that the era of Akwa Ibom being the national suppliers of housemaids is over. And he backed up by devoting and deploying a good amount of his budget for education, because he saw education as the strategy to liberate his fellow residents of Akwa Ibom from a modern day servanthood slavery. And it worked to a large extent, because even now, if you are looking for housemaids, it may be difficult for you to even find a Calabar girl that will do house girl work for you. So he invested in education, he invested in all these SMEs, building skills, and that can lead to self-employment and the rest. And I wasn't worried that many of the house girls, they changed level. They were those who they went back to Akwa Ibom State because they saw that their state had become better overnight. And while those that were in worry, they now left house girl chores and house girl duties. So that is why, from of course, from Victor Atta, we had the Akwa Ibom, who also engaged in a vibrant road infrastructure. Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Akwa Ibom, God's will, Akwa Ibom, 45 kilometers, 30 bridges, uncommon governance, or uncommon infrastructural development.
And our stadium. Yes, and don't forget to mention our stadium, the only FIFA standard stadium in Nigeria, built by Godswill Akwa Ibom.
Yes, built by Godswill. So, and you cannot take that away from Akwa Ibom, who heavily invested, because two ways to develop a state, more, but two, building critical infrastructure and investing massively in quality education, not just education, quality education. So that brings me home, and of course, Governor Eno's predecessor did his best fairly. He was very experienced, and of course, Umo has come on board. So I think that these kinds of video are welcome, because the essence of opposition is not to be a saying praiser. No, he's doing well. He's doing well. He's doing well. You are not helping the Governor Eno. Point out these areas that he may never know, because many times those in government, there are things that they will never know until they leave government. There are things their aides will shield them from. Do you know, aides now, they are like jesters in a court palace. May the king live forever. The king is doing well. The king is perfect. Yes. The king has no fault. The king will never sin. The king is God. The king is this. That's what people around corridors of power do day by day, singing praise. It is me and you that will tell the governor that those classrooms, like you said, they are not AI generated. It's a stain on your government, and it should not be, because if Victor Atta in 1999, when oil was barely $9, can pronounce that there must be no child must be left behind, end to street hawking by children. If he can make that declaration in 2020, 1999, when oil was $10, when many of the oil wells that they had now belong to Cross River State, so they were not as rich. They were not even 1/10 as rich as they are now. Could make that declaration and put his mouth where his money is. Then we are saying that Governor Eno must fold his sleeves to carry the state to higher heights. I think that Governor Eno should be conscious that, to be fair, Akwa Ibom have had its share of very good state governors, very good, who have lifted the state from one era to the other to different levels in different strata. So his work is very easy. He's not building from scratch. All he needs to do is
interject. Hello, Barrister. Just to interject there, Pastor Omoeno, the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, is doing plug and play, because the likes of Victor Atta, Akwa Ibom, Ododong have done the hard work for him. So one is actually quite surprised why he is finding it difficult to put on all of these things that have been built for him and take Akwa Ibom State to a level that even countries would love to come visit his state. Don't you think so?
You know, one of the why Victor Atta built on education, Godswill Akwa Ibom said that one thing that challenged him to be governor is because Victor Atta did not really do so much on roads.
Yes, exactly.
So he saw a lot of potholes as commissioner, he entered Okada and saw a lot of potholes. So he promised himself that if God will make me governor, I will ensure that no single road in Akwa Ibom has pothole. So his focus was to ensure good roads, good infrastructure, good bridges in Akwa Ibom. And that's why he was, I don't know whether he can still bear that title now, but he was known as the uncommon governor.
Yes,
uncommon transfer. No, I will disagree with you on that, but let me leave that for another day. So he ended up owning for himself because he had a vision and he pursued it. Now, why do, like you said, why will a governor who has anything working for him, since so much has been done before he ascending the throne, and what will make him not able to meet up the expectation of the people? I can give you 2 or 3 reasons. Number one, he does not have a prior vision before attaining the governorship. He will just be a wanderer. How do they call it? Something in Wonderland. There's one.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. That's how he will be. Meanwhile, there are people who
he has. Barrister, we have my guest here wants to interrupt you. He wants to interject. Actually, he said he has. You have something.
Let me just.
Barrister.
This may be my last.
Okay. Let's Barrister finish his thought. Yes.
Then, secondly, if he allows himself to be deceived by sycophants, by hypocrites, many are jesters, political aides, political adventurers, and also people, you are doing well, you are doing well, you are doing well. They won't point out, you did not become governor so that people will tell you are doing well. You became governor to follow.
Are you there, Barrister? Hello, Barrister, are you there? All right, so just before Barrister comes back, so you wanted to point out something there.
I think Barrister needs to bit of his update himself with a lot of facts about Akwa Ibom State, because let me start from where he said he never had a prior, vision.
Yes, before going in.
The governor has a blueprint.
What's the blueprint?
The Arise Agenda blueprint.
On paper?
Not on paper. The governor has, in different forums, stated that is the only implementable, project plans that he has for people of Akwa Ibom State. And this plan was even, drafted even before he emerged as, it was his campaign material.
Yeah, so if he has the blueprint and it's not, we don't see it visibly, of what use is the blueprint?
No, you might claim not to have seen it.
Okay.
But we have seen, the implementation of the Arise Agenda, which represents the agricultural revolution, and rural development, infrastructure development, the security, and the priority on education and youth empowerment.
But we can see the video. It hasn't gotten to that primary school yet.
What I'm saying,
yes,
you cannot. It's just like when you want to, take Nigeria for example. You find a lot of classrooms in Nigerian states in deplorable conditions.
That doesn't mean, yes.
That does not mean they are not good schools or good primary schools. And I've just said, this government works on budget. If it has not gotten to the time to,
budget controlled by who? The budget is not controlled by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The budget is controlled by the governor. If the governor wants this done, I do not think that particular primary school would need more than 200 million naira to fix.
I said it.
Yes.
I'm not on the defensive
yes.
side, because I know government, as we speak, is currently, projects are ongoing. A lot of projects are ongoing. And I'm not even sure that classroom,
yes.
As of today, that I learned was even on the 2023, video. that is coming all over again for circulation.
Well, I don't think so, because coming from Premium Times, I don't think they would love to, put themselves in that mess.
By now, so the governor pay high premiums on education.
Do you think the governor is lazy? Do you think the governor is lazy?
The governor is doing everything possible
Yes.
to make sure all these schools, which is education, empowerment, is part of the Arise Agenda blueprint. So these issues are being addressed as we speak. So there is no how you tell me, is he sensitive about the right of the students or the classrooms? No.
All right. So yes. So I would love to ask you: do you think Governor Omoeno is lazy, knowing that he has been provided everything? He's not reinventing the wheel. Atta had done awesomely well.
You say you cannot,
and other people have done great well. So why is it difficult for him to? Do you think in the next 10 years, 20 years, do you think that the governor will be remembered in the next 20 years like people remember Atta and Akwa Ibom?
We are just talking about a governor that is barely 3 years, in office.
Yes.
So, and he has done a lot. I've mentioned, apart from the educational sector, he's building 31 model schools just for the first term of his government, which has not been exhausted yet. And more is to come. And other classrooms are to be revamped, remodeled, and also, equipped. So we should not be, we should not lack this understanding that government is continuous.
Okay.
The development is continuous.
Okay.
The government cannot be lazy.
Okay.
And the governor is not lazy.
Okay.
Because if I've seen any one of the hardworking governors that we have in the state, to the fact that even when he sees all this kind of things in public, he will get provoked because he knows he's doing all the best to make sure that Akwa Ibom is being put on, on a right footage. We're talking about a state that has done all these things and so many, more than 1,000 kilometers of road have been built and it's still ongoing. The airport money have been put for more, the flight.
More aircraft to come in.
More expanding the terminals, upgrading into international stuff. All this thing requires money. And money is going in different directions. The youth have been trained by Bomlet.
Okay.
The Aquasac, the Skill Acquisition Center are still training a lot of youth, engaging youth. A lot of incentives have been given, ranging from 50,000 social welfare and then equipment support to the tune of 5 million.
Okay.
And other things are going. And then the governor has not borrowed at a dime.
Okay.
You understand? So these things are ongoing. It has set the state on the right footage in which the governors, will be approached in the nearest future.
All right, beautiful. Barrister, are you still here with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Barrister. Sorry, we lost you there. So just before we wind down, because we don't have time, in less than 90 seconds, Barrister, do you think we should give Pastor Omoeno, the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, some benefit of a doubt, knowing that he is just less than 3 years in office, and maybe we should begin to constructively criticize him when he has gone the whole length of 7+ years? What's your take on this, please?
No, of course, the benchmark, the milestone you wait before you start criticizing any administration, whether at the federal or state level, is 100 days.
Oh.
100 days. Hear me?
Yes.
100 days. 100 days is 3 months. Now he has done 2 years, 8 months, I guess.
Yes.
So we are now in March. Sorry, 2 years, 10 months. 2 years, 10 months. How many 100 days are in?
Plenty pockets of 100 days.
2 years, 10 months. So of course, it's overdue for proper evaluation. Is overdue to be analyzed. He is overdue to be deconstructed, and if found wanting, he is overdue to be criticized. Criticism is not evil, it's not wickedness, it's not malice, it's not vindictiveness or hatred. Criticism is to make you better, to see your weak points, the weakest chain in your administration, and to buckle up. Tick says the time. What you have to do quick. 4 years is such a short time. And that's why you must hit the ground running. So I urge him to buckle his shoes, fold his sleeves, hit the ground running in critical areas like education, SMEs, entrepreneurs, and health sector, and ensure that the roads that have been put in place are maintained, and those that were not put in place by the uncommon government of Godswill Akpabio are also put in place. All he needs is focus. Thank God that for now, instead of him to be in a hurry to get a second wife after he painfully lost his wife, he preferred to recruit his daughter as first lady, thereby reducing his distraction from domestic affairs and ladies that you bring into government. You know, they can be very distractive to a governor. He avoided that, which shows goodwill, which shows that he's prepared to be focused and to hit the golden mark in the golden manner. So, but you must get your act right. You know, many times, like yesterday, you can have wonderful preparation, but only one small aspect of the chain will just make people feel that you have failed or you have not lived up to expectation. So you must cross your T's, dot your I's. Thank God he looks, actually from his look and the way he talks, he looks like a technocrat. He looks like somebody who is focused. But the funny enough is that you can look serious and meanwhile you are not serious. That's why.
I tell you categorically that the governor is a very, very intentional and serious, technocrat, just as you rightly said.
Of the facial look. That's what Shakespeare said. I'm sure you know that quotation.
Yes.
Shakespeare. I'm sure you're a student of Shakespeare. Yeah. So all we need to do, of course, government is all about evaluation and re-evaluation. You need to re-evaluate. All what I've said is what I am saying from Asaba here, my own perspective. But you engage more in town hall, not for political purposes for 2027. So know from the people, what is your greatest priority? What is your greatest need? Because even if you do the very good things for the people, if it is not what the people want, you have failed. Engage directly, engage regularly with the people who you said they are their servants. Be humble so that you'll be able to fulfill their wishes. If you fulfill the wishes of the people, it doesn't matter what me and you sitting here and standing by are saying. If he fulfills the wishes of his people, he has succeeded, whether it's not what he's supposed to do. Democracy is all about fulfilling the wish of those who you represent.
All right.
So fulfill their wishes, regular consultation, regular engagement, and regular driving and implementation of their heart desires.
All right.
So on that note, weekends.
Yes, thank you so very much, Barrister. Yes, so just conclude. Yes.
What the governor has done. He has done plan hall meetings, and then all the
not politically motivated town hall meetings. Remember, he did say, if you don't join the APC, you don't get anything from me. He said that.
Those are politics.
Okay.
I'm talking about the governmental policies.
Okay.
That he went to all the local governments and then he has taken the needs assessment of those areas, which he has even started implementing by giving each local government all the projects that they demanded for. You know, oil mills and so many other things. You know, that phase has been concluded. So the governor is working according to plan. You can only say many things are not done yet, and you can't have a perfect, state where everything are being provided for. No, you still have to find one or two lapses in rural lapses in one place or the other.
All right.
So these goals that have been amplified cannot be used to discredit.
To cast like a blanket on everything.
The government has also built, good schools, well equipped with modern facilities, elderly homes, and a lot more other things that is ongoing.
Right.
And you only need to pay a visit to Akwa Ibom State to actually see the height of development in that state.
Very well said. You know, Akwa Ibom has a special place in my heart. You know, during my formative period as a broadcaster, I remember spending 3 years with AKBC Uyo. I was trained there, you know, so I understand, you know, the desire to have a very great Akwa Ibom State. I am not from Akwa Ibom, but Akwa Ibom means a lot to me because, like I said, it helped in my formative period. So it's my desire to see an Akwa Ibom State that will be the fulcrum upon which other states will come and borrow one or two from there. Mike Tyson, during his prime time, during his epic period, said that he thought he had it all good. He could box anyone in less than a minute or less until Lennox Lewis, you know, dropped him. And he said that you might think you have it all, but until someone comes with a counter. So it is the responsibility of governors, not just in Akwa Ibom State, but across the 36 states, and including Nyesom Wike, who has diverted water to his farm rather than to the FCT residents, that it is our responsibility to ensure that the state that we have been handed over is able to survive and sustain. That is our good. That is the benefit. If it's good for one state, then it is good for Nigeria. And maybe we might stop disturbing Bola Ahmed Tinubu and give him the opportunity to maybe rest for a while, since he is our father. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for being here. Obong Thompson, it's been an awesome opportunity being here. Barrister, thank you so very much. I truly do appreciate your insight and your straightforward way of speaking without bias. And this is the kind of talk we want for Nigeria if we must move forward. And I truly do appreciate your time. Thank you so very much, Barrister. All right, that's just about the time we have. I'd love to say thank you to everyone for joining us. I love to believe you enjoyed our show just like I did here. Please do well to follow us. You can read up on everything we've talked about when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Have yourself a splendid weekend. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. God bless Akwa Ibom State. And we'll see you on another episode. Bye-bye.